And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Deus Game Master. Asked the question, and it's a theme-based battle again, like I did the Power Ranger versus the X-Men theme. The original 1994 Spider-Man Fox cartoon theme versus the more recent Spectacular Spider-Man theme. Now, I had never heard the Spectacular, because I never watched the show. It was honestly, it was well after my time. And that's not to say I don't watch cartoons still. It's just I was watching other things that I think it was like watching like Ben 10, Teen Titan reruns, all that with Danny Phantom. It was just, and I was just busy watching other shows too beyond cartoons. I just didn't get a chance to watch that one. But I literally just listened to it right now. Okay. Disadvantages, advantages. Because I can remember the Amazing Spider-Man theme. I keep saying amazing. It's just Spider-Man theme. I can remember the 94 Spider-Man theme. No problems. Spider-Man, like, come on, yeah. And the radioactive Spider-Man, like, come on, that I watched every morning on Fox Kids. Oh man, those are good memories right there. Because let me be very clear. I was not you're either a WB guy or you're a Fox guy. I'm like, no, I'll watch whatever the fuck is on. Like, I loved both of them. I was that literal middle child of, I love you both. I love you both. Oh, man, they just don't do it like they used to anymore. I still, as far as I know, they still do WB cartoons in the morning on Saturday. It's just not the same. 90s, early 2000s. That was the shit for that. So, yeah. But, yeah. Okay, so what I will say right out the gate, if you want my basic thought on who is the better theme, it's the Amazing Spider-Man theme. I keep saying amazing. It's the Spider-Man 94 theme. But why do I think that? Okay. So, having just listened to the Spectacular Spider-Man theme, and maybe if it sat with me, I'd feel differently. But this is just my initial reaction. What it has over the 94 Spider-Man theme, definitely, is that it feels like it's a legitimate song intro. It feels it's constructed well. It's put together fine. And it's a fine little song. The 94 Spider-Man, by contrast, does sound a little haphazard and put together. And I think that's because part of it is the style of the music. This is definitely like a studio band that's hired to do this. Whereas, I don't think it was really, even if there was a studio band for the 94 Spider-Man, it sounded, they were using a lot more of that kind of like synth, techno style style rock. So there's no real lyrics or dialogue besides that, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man, and it's only in the back, and it's done with like a voice modulator. So while it's cool sounding, it does sound a little messy compared to the more polished Spectacular Spider-Man theme. And I'll say this too: the Spectacular Spider-Man theme is in fact a legitimate song, like I said. Whereas the Spider-Man intro really isn't a song. It's just got them repeating Spider-Man going, radioactive Spider-Man, Spider-Man. But having said that, that also works kind of like as a disadvantage to the Spectacular Spider-Man theme, because it just sounds like they got some studio band to come in, do a couple recording, get the right, they have it written out, and they basically just like, okay, sing this, give us the best version of this you got. Okay, we got maybe a couple hours to do a few takes of this. That's what it sounds like. Does not sound bad, but when I compare it even to, like, say, weirdly enough, Beyblade. Beyblade had legitimate people doing soundtracks, had a little soundtrack. You can go online and find the original Beyblade from the original series, the G-Revolution soundtrack. That soundtrack slaps, man. I will occasionally still listen to it just because of how cool those songs were, You're never gonna let me down. With like, oh man, so swing down, swing low if you want to play the game. Like, those songs slapped, man. If anyone wants me to do, honestly, I'm not going to go out of my way right now, but if someone wants me to do maybe like a top Beyblade song or do a song versus with the Beyblade songs, just put it in. I will do it in a heartbeat. I loved Beyblade. I will never be ashamed to say that. But we're talking about Spider-Man. Even with those songs sounded original. They had they actually had a little bit of emotion to them. They had some gruff. They had some grit. They had some grind. They had some light funness to it. This just sounded like a good but generic. We need an intro for this character theme song. Whereas the Spider-Man 94 theme, while it is messier by comparison, and it's not really a song, it sounds like the minute you hear that, you know immediately what that theme is. Like with the X-Men, the minute you get in that, like, you know that's X-Men. You hear Powers, bam, 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 and they hear that, that's the Power Rangers theme. And hell, even Pokemon like, like that's Pokemon. Spider-Man, you know immediately what that is. It's just more iconic. It lent itself to using, the 90s tech of the era, and making itself sound unique, using some techno rock. And then, of course, it's also a great build. Spider-Man, radioactive Spider. It just rings in the no joke. I listened to this song, the theme song for Spectacular Spider-Man, not more than 7 minutes ago before this video started. I barely remember any of the music as is, and I just watched it. It is ingrained in my mind, the Spider-Man 94 theme. Now, to be fair, if I had spent time watching Spectacular Spider-Man, maybe I would have gotten the same thing. Maybe the same thing would have happened with me. But I get the impression, just based on what I heard, that I might have remembered some key notes and key themes, or the lyrics, but I don't think it would have been as something I would have remembered as easily. And maybe it's also because I was a kid. It's easier for us to actually learn things and memorize things as children than as adults. That's how we learn language. So that's why kids are so actually great at picking up new languages in our earlier informative years. That's why they teach language during your teenage years in school to help broaden. A, it's easier to learn it then, and B, to broaden whatever your horizons are, whatever. I'm one of those rare people. For some reason, I didn't opt out. I just was excluded from learning a language in school. I never had to learn a language. And I know a little bit of languages, bits and pieces, all that. I could actually form a couple sentences in Spanish. Obviously, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué hora es? Which is, I believe ¿Cómo estás? Is hello there. What time? And ¿Qué hora es? Is what time is it? And then obviously sí, no, bueno, pescado is fish. My last name's Fish, so I know pescado blanco, the white fish. So I know a bunch of words, so I can make up a couple sentences if I had to. I know bits and pieces of Japanese, thanks to anime. I know a little bit of a couple words. I might be able to string one sentence long in French if I had to. I'm trying to think of any other languages I might know a little bit of. German, not really. I don't think I know any Italian. I'd really have to write. That's something I could probably. I'm not going to do a video, but just in my own edification, where I listed all the words I know in different languages. Anyway. So yeah, I digress because I had nothing much else to say. Yeah, I go in Spider-Man 94 on this. It's just more iconic, because let's be honest, if you were to ask someone on the street, what is can you tell me the cartoon Spider-Man theme? Most people are going to go with the 94 one. It's just, people are just going to, now granted, you have to get a whole age group thing going on, But most people are just, I think, going to remember that one over the Spectacular Spider-Man theme. And like I said in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with that theme. It's a perfectly good theme. Like, it's better than some of the other intros I've seen, and heard. But it does just sound like a house band was paid to just do the house, to just do the theme for this show. And they probably did the themes for a bunch of other shows. Anyway, so yeah, my money, Spider-Man 94. But look, that's just my opinion. Do you feel differently about the Spectacular Spider-Man versus the Spider-Man 94? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.